Good morning, guys. Welcome to Saturday's FRT Gold live video. Hope you're all doing well. Saturday morning, of course, a really great day of racing ahead today. The Betfred Sprint Cup, no doubt the highlight from Haydock Park, a Group 1 there that's going to be an absolutely cracking race. We've got some thoughts, and actually our tip comes from there, and you're probably not surprised as to which horse it is, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. Also, group action from Haydock today, some Group 3 races, some really competitive and good handicaps. A couple of Group 3s coming from Kempton Park on the all-weather as well. Not something you see too often is racing that prestigious on the all-weather, but fair play to Kempton for getting those Group 3s and pumping enough money into the card to attract some really good horses and some superb races there. So going to be an excellent day today. Hopefully we can bounce back from yesterday. Yesterday was one of those days that was just a write-off. It goes in the category of one of those days, and it's now all about how we bounce back. Was really disappointed with that yesterday, but if we can hit a day like last Saturday where we hit a premium tip next best bet double at really tasty odds, then that would be great. Hopefully we can do that again today. As I say, all the action taking place today, plenty of meetings taking place as you'd expect. We race from Kempton, Ascot, Thirsk, Haydock, Stratford, Navan and Wolves. So absolutely those taking place, and those meetings at the Wolverhampton is of course under the floodlights this evening. A reminder that if you do have any questions at all throughout the course of this video, or indeed just the course of the day, then please do get in touch. You can email joe@freeracingtips.co.uk. You can get in touch via Facebook. It's facebook.com/groups/FRT Gold, and then it's you can also get in touch via Twitter as well. We're at FreeRacingTips7. Or if you are watching this video live, then please do feel free to join in the live Q&A session. Just click on the box and type your question away, and I'll do my best to answer it as quickly and as well as possible, as thorough as possible. So, yeah, loads of action taking place today. Any questions throughout the course of this video, do let me know. But we'll start off by taking a look at the premium tip for today. And today's premium tip, that goes in the 305 at Thirsk, and our tip here is All About Time, and it's currently at 6 to 4 from 7 to 4 this morning, so a fair bit of money coming for this horse, even as short as 11 to 8 with some bookmakers. It's sort of 50-50 as to 6 to 4 or 11 to 8, but hopefully you did get that 7 to 4 a little bit earlier on this morning. Just checking, there is a non-runner in this race, but that non-runner was declared about an hour ago, but it was a 16 to 1 shot, so no Rule 4 to worry about there. This horse actually only had his first run, in what was a really competitive maiden at York last time out, and finished 8th on that day, but I believe there was about 16 runners or so. As I said, it was a really competitive maiden. I think plenty of good horses will come out of that, and that 8th wasn't bad at all. I think the horse actually shaped well and stepped up to a mile today from that 7 furlong trip, and I think that will actually really suit this horse as well. Showed plenty of promise on that day, and I think should go well here today. As I said, that mile trip I think is going to be better. The David O'Mara team is in really good shape at the moment, and I think it's a plus that he's training this horse, especially at a track like Thirsk. You know, these Saturday Yorkshire meetings, they're ones that David O'Mara really usually does well at, and I just think this horse could be the most promising. The big threat is Tadpole, who's currently around about 5 to 2, but despite that horse finishing 3rd on debut, I do think that this one might just have a little bit more in that one, have a little bit more and be suited more by the conditions, which are good to firm, good in places. I think the horse will enjoy that a little bit more, as that's encountered good last time out, whereas the other horse did encounter soft, so might just be a bit taken off his feet with a quick pace for this one. But I think that's a good premium tip for today in that 305 at Thirsk. The next best bet for today, that goes in the 240 at Haydock. A really good card, as I said, from Haydock today, and this is one of those Group 3 races from Haydock today, and our tip here is Short Squeeze, and that's been backed from 7 to 2 into 3 to 1 at the moment. Now this horse, I'm sure many of you will remember, went up against one of my fancies at 25 to 1. My fancy was Top Notch Tonto at the Ebor Festival, and this horse actually just managed to get in front of Top Notch Tonto and beat him by what was, I think, around a short head or a neck on the day. But Short Squeeze has a really troubled run that day, and you know, hit loads of traffic problems, and in the end it was a superb ride from Pat Smullen under pressure, and I think the horse would have been an unlucky loser but still managed to win. And I think with a clear run, which is likely to happen today with just the 6 runners. I think that can really suit this horse, and I think he's one that we can expect a bit of an improvement from, to be honest. And I don't think that this Group 3 is any problem for Short Squeeze. I think that the horse is ready for that, and I think should go really well today. Pat Smullen's on board again. That's vital. I think he's the right man for the horse at the moment. And also, the Hugo Palmer yard is in really good shape at the moment. Had a group winner last week, of course, at Sandown, and also I believe had a group winner during the week as well. So really is going well. It's the Hugo Palmer yard, and I think that yeah, all that amounts to this horse being really good value for that one at 7-2, the 240 at Haydock. The 5:15 at Ascot is where we go for our little earner today, and that's Holly Shiftwell, currently at 8-1. Now this horse won over the Flying 5 furlongs, which is today's distance, last time out actually, and I think is set for another big run today. I think the conditions and the trip, this 5 furlong trip, are absolutely ideal for the horse at the moment. Has plenty of experience over this sprint distance, which you need in a competitive handicap like this, and I just think should be involved. It is running off a career high mark, I get that, but it's running off a career high mark for a reason. That win last time out was a really good one, and I think that despite a little rise in the weights, this horse can go in again when running really well, and that looks to be a good each way bet for me at 8-1. I think if you really hunt around, you might be able to get 9-1 in places. 2 1-point win-only singles for today, and one of them, as I said, does go in that Betfred Sprint Cup, the Group 1, that 350 at Haydock. It's Soul Power for me at 4-1. I'll explain all of that in a little while. And then it's Best Trip in the 620 at Wolverhampton, currently around about 3-1. So they're all of our official tips for today. Not really any other fancies for the big races, because we've covered a Group 3, or I think we've covered a Group 3 and a Group 1. So not too much more, and not too much more really fancy today. It's a competitive day. If you did fancy doing a lucky 15 today, then do go with the premium tip Next Best Bet and those 2 1-point win-only singles. It will return around £500 from £1 stakes, which is, of course, a £15 bet. So, yeah, I'm siding with Soul Power. I couldn't quite put him up as a premium tip or a Next Best Bet, but I think a 1-point single is a good bet at 4-1. Soul Power, I don't think there's any doubt it's the class horse in this race. There is a little bit of rain around Haydock at the moment, and that's a concern. The horse doesn't want any sort of soft in the ground. You want, good ground's okay. Ideally, you want it good to firm, and the quicker the better. So hopefully there's a bit of wind that will dry up. But I think as soon as you get some soft in the description, and say the first couple of races, jockeys do say that it is riding on the soft side of good or anything like that, I think Eddie Liner will probably make the decision to declare the horse a non-runner. And if that's the case, then we won't have any replacements. But I think although it'd be frustrating, you'd rather that happens than running on good to soft ground. But just for those reasons, because you never quite know if they may just risk him and see how he goes. That's one of the reasons I couldn't really put Soul Power up as a premium tip or a Next Best Bet. And besides, these other two I do think have a all-round better chance of winning, but that's not to say I don't like Soul Power's chances. Richard, what he's got at the moment, Soul Power, people are keen to take him on, and they can find reasons with 6 furlongs, maybe not the best course form, and perhaps not the ideal ground, but then you can flip that around. Horse in the form of his life. He's never run over 6 furlongs, or never won over 6 furlongs, but he's never run over this distance when in this kind of form. He's better than ever, there's no doubt about that. He has found the perfect jockey in Richard Hughes, who just seems to have a way of switching him off at the back and then surging towards the end. And despite the fact that this is over an extra furlong, I think he can do the same. And I think that sometimes I think maybe a bit too much is read into that extra furlong. I might get ridiculed for that, but and I might be left to rue my words, but I do think that this horse is going to be suited to 6 furlongs. He has actually run over this distance before, and has, despite not winning, has finished second and put in some good performances. And I just think with that turn of foot he's got in the end, as long as they don't go off at a blistering speed, that's probably what you don't want. You don't want this to turn into any sort of staying trip, but if they might just go off at a decent pace, there's no problem with that. He wants a pace to aim at, and then just use that sprint, that devastating sprint finish at the end. I mean, all he needs to be held on to is an extra half a furlong, I'd say, and then you can say go, because he's always going away at the end as well. You do forget that, but I do just think that Soul Power's the best bet there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to watch it on a on a replay because I've actually got my first football game of the season. It's a really, really big game, so I'm not going to be able to watch it live, which is a real shame. But hopefully, yeah, I'll come back and hopefully watch the replay of Soul Power absolutely romping home. But yeah, hopefully you can do that. But of course, the as good as it would be to hit those 1 point win only singles, the main bets are the premium tip and the next best bet. And if they can do the business by the time Soul Power runs, then anything after that is somewhat of a bonus. So yeah, hoping for a good day today. Thank you for watching today's video. Good to see plenty of you watching. There's plenty going on today. Hopefully you can sit in front of the sofa and just watch as those bets come in. Any questions throughout the day, do let me know. But let's have a good day of bookie bashing. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.